Are you a coach, consultant, or course creator looking to add another traffic channel to scale your offer to 7 and 8 figures? I just gave a talk at a conference where I explained how YouTube ads are replacing traditional TV ads, how they are different than Facebook ads, and how you can create high-performing ad creatives to get more leads, qualified phone calls, and more sales to attract your ideal dream client and scale you beyond the 7 and 8 figures that you aim for. Stay tuned to watch the talk.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. Today I'm going to talk about YouTube ads for coaches and consultants as well as info product providers. And I've been working in the sector for maybe 2 to 3 years, and I hope I share some valuable stuff with you today that you can implement into your business. A few things, here's my agenda. Why YouTube ads? Will YouTube ads work for you specifically? And then how to maximize the ROI when you use it. Before we start, I want you to know, anyone who is first year at DCBKK ever, there are a few people, great. Anyone who's running YouTube ads or Facebook ads, any kind of paid ads to their funnel already, it's a lot of people, so we can probably exchange a few things here afterwards. Cool. This is me at my first DCBKK in 2016. Back then I was working with AMZ Tracker, volunteered a few times. So I know how it feels when you're here the first time. It's quite fresh. If you feel overwhelmed, come talk to me. There's a lot of things going on. So right now, today, I'm running a paid ads advertising agency. We're focusing on, what I just mentioned, YouTube ads for coaches, consultants, and info product providers. The clients are anywhere between 6 figures, and I think that's 8 figures, including some corporate clients. And I've worked with Davis, Travis, Onfolio brands, and a couple of other DCers in the past. So, why YouTube, you might be asking? So there has been a big shift, as you might be aware of. If you cannot read it on the y-axis, it's participants who used the service to watch video in the last 24 hours. There has been a big shift from cable TV to YouTube. So it's a big replacement. People go to YouTube to consume video content, and they consume a long-form video content. And it's one of the mediums that really makes sense to catch eyeballs these days. Right. Then there's a lot of you might be familiar with Facebook. I'm going to walk you through the differences real quick. So I like to lead this example just by imagining you going to a town, to a city. And when you imagine Facebook, it's equal to a bar. You go there to exchange gossip, to get entertained, to catch up, to social. And primarily you're going there to seek some entertainment. As an advertiser, it's interruptive. You have to go there, put your sign, and say that you're here and get the attention from those people. So this is mainly done with using interest targeting. YouTube, on the other hand, is more like a library. You can do both. You can get entertainment as well as education. There's a lot of terms. People go there to find some information like how to do X, Y, and Z. My wife and I, we just got a camper van, and I got a fire pit, and I looked up how to do a fire, how to start a fire, because I had no idea how to do this before. Just to give you an example. So the targeting adds another layer. It is intent targeting, so that means you have keywords that you can use, even though right now those keywords, you can catch people that typing those in on Google search. So you're competing with all the SEOs there, and you can, based on someone's browsing history, you can target them on YouTube, what they have been looked at Google. So you can basically supply the prospects with the information when they need it, right in the time, right when they're hot or warmer than usual. So target when it matters. So there's a different metric definition when it comes to a view count. So when you see a video on Facebook, for example, you see videos that have millions of views. Facebook is counting it after 3 seconds. So literally you scroll the newsfeed, and then a video, you see it for a few seconds, for 3 seconds, and it's counted as a view. For YouTube, on the other hand, it's 30 seconds and more. That means you don't have to pay before someone is watching the first 30 seconds or interacting with your ad. That means if they're clicking the ad, only then it's counted as a view, and then you only pay. That's being said, if the video ad is shorter than 30 seconds, then you will pay once they watch the entire video. So basically 25 seconds, 20 seconds, however long it is. I actually wanted to give you, sorry for that, it's a little bit jumpy here, but I actually want to give you an example First, before we go further, this is in video ads. I just want to highlight 2 points. One point is when you look for certain keywords on Google search, for example, how to lose belly fat, this is an example of a video that could show up. The second thing I want to demonstrate you with this video is like it does not always have to be high production. You see that it's basically someone using a selfie ad to show the video content. I'm not gonna have it run the entire time, so I'm gonna spare you the most of it, but I just want to give you a little bit of an idea of the production value and whenever you can place those ads.
If you're trying to lose belly fat, stop doing cardio. This sounds backwards, right? Well, believe it or not, it's actually true. Stop spending hours on the elliptical to get in shape. Running on the treadmill 5 or even 6 days a week gets most people nowhere.
You wanna know why running on the treadmill 7 days a week doesn't work for you when you're trying to lose weight? Because it never has. And I know that's hard to believe.
Later, I will also talk a little bit more about how to structure a video ad, and I give you more examples and a little breakdown, so just stick with me on this one. To give you some reference, this video has been played 75 million times. So this is really massive. They have been spending a lot of money with this ad, and you see it's not really super fancy or overly produced. It's within a reasonable budget. Yes, sure.
Highly produced, but it's first kind of like hook. It's not highly produced. I think afterwards, you know, everything is, that's how they sells, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can send you this whole video later. Actually, I have a freebie where you can get some more samples, but they're using some stock images as well. It stays with the same style. Cool. Yes.
Quick question. So how do you find the URL of the ad? I see that you have listed video there. You have a...
Yeah. Secret. No. You can always, when you see an ad, you can right-click, and then I don't know the exact information, but it's not really complicated. You just right-click on the video. There's settings or information for geeks, and then you can find URL slug. You can take it. But there's tools out there that you can spy on your competitor ads as well. And what those tools do is they give you their funnel basically as well, which is really great. And they give you also the YouTube link and whatnot.
What's your favorite tool for that?
VidBros, VidTao. Sorry?
VidTao?
Yeah, VidTao. Sorry?
They would have, like, if it's V-shirt, they would have all the V-shirt ads from like the last couple of years from like in the libraries.
Yeah, there's also other tools that can have it. Let me think. I can look it up later and post it into the group chat here for this event. There's other tools. And what they do is they're scraping YouTube for those videos and then they're collecting the data. Yeah. Cool. So this is really great. Also for this process is part of the ideation process when you work with a scriptwriter to get your script written. Then searching those competitor ads is really useful. Just as a side note, I already talked about this. So YouTube as a marketing channel is quite universal. It works with a lot of different businesses that I just listed. Here, I know we focus more on courses and info products and coaches, consultants in this meetup, but just to give you a little bit of a idea. However, there are a few puzzle pieces that you need to have in place, and oftentimes I hear it didn't work for me. It all starts out with the irresistible offer. First, keywords Alex Hormozy and whatnot. You have heard about that. The funnel to transport or communicate that offer is also very important. And I say if you don't have the offer and the funnel in, you might not want to think about sending traffic or work with an ad agency or work with any kind of paid ads because it's really crucial. I see you're taking pictures. I will also give you the slides, by the way, so you don't have to take them in case. The ad creative comes next, and that's what I'm going to talk a little bit more in this presentation. Then the technical stuff, targeting, campaign management, those are important, but hierarchy and the priority list, they come at the end. If you have questions, we can talk about this after the workshop. 2 side notes, tracking, obviously, I mean, we're in the DC, we know that data counts, tracking counts. If you are on one channel, it might be enough to have a spreadsheet, CRM that you have with parameters, Gclit, and have some automations set up around that. Obviously, you want to have Google Ads conversion tracking in place. For more sophisticated accounts, we work with Hirus. That's better if you have multiple marketing channels, a third-party tool. And lastly, it might take a lot of tweaks in the beginning, especially the funnel. There's a lot of moving parts, but the patience can work out really well. And you're literally building a money machine if it works out that you can scale. I will show you an example also at the end. So right now I want to talk a bit about the ad structure itself. There's 3 key components. The hook is the most important component of an ad, of a video ad. It's literally the first 30 seconds of the video ad. And the main task, the main objective is obviously you want to grab the attention here. You want to speak to this target audience, speak to your demographics. You can address their desire points or their pain points as well to interrupt them or to get their attention. With YouTube, you have 2 goals. First, you want them, if they are your target audience, them to not skip you for the first 5 seconds. So you can use this time wisely. Then you have a second window between 5 seconds or 6 seconds then to 30 seconds where you can work more on the qualification part. And you can actually actively try to get people who are not suitable to you to disqualify them so that they jump off so you don't have to pay. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So this hook has multiple purposes when you use it for a YouTube ad. The second part is the body. That's the main part. So right now, what we see works best are ads that are somewhere between 2 minutes and 3 minutes, not longer. Even though they can work, YouTube is now starting to penalize longer ads. For example, video sales letter ads. There were ads 10 minutes, 15 minutes, where you give a lot of value, and it's basically like a VSL. Those are getting penalized. So what we see best is short ads to the point, and you can use several frameworks. When you search up Russell Brunson, or one guru that I follow that we have close contact is Tom Breeze. He is in the YouTube ad space, very famous. They teach you different frameworks, but the main parts are story, teaching them something, and also entertaining them. That comes back to the town example that I just gave. When you go to the library, people go there to get educated, as well as entertained. So you want to engage them. And as always, throughout your entire funnel, it's very important to show credentials, authority, as well as social proof. The last part is the call to action. And yeah, you want to tell them the next step in your funnel. It's usually in the last 30 seconds. And I give you an example right after this to break down everything in examples. But one extra tip is that you could actually use some B-roll footage where you, for example, have a screen sharing that you go over what happens next. What happens next after they click the ad. You can show them your landing page, how you scroll, how you give your information in, and you can have that as a part of your ad, just to show them what to do next. That kind of primes them for the next steps. But you can also address objections while you're doing that. Also, as a freebie, I have a guide that we sent out to our clients. Usually, when we work with coaches, they have already a YouTube channel, or they're very affine towards recording the ads themselves. So all we do is giving them a guide, and they're getting the video content, they're reading out the script, and they're sending it back. However, there's other ways. If you're not affine to talk in front of a camera, you can always hire an actor or use someone in your team. Very important for the post-production process. You need to keep that in mind. It is something that I call the ADHD-proven editing. It's really important to create a dynamic in your videos to engage them, to grab their attention, to make sure that they're not jumping off. And there are a few elements using captions, B-roll, motion graphics, sound effects. You want to have uplifting music, no Zen music, no meditation background music to make them in a chill mood. You want to motivate them. And then there is a countdown timer that usually works really well at the end with a 10-second fade out on top. So I want to show you right now a video ad from another DCer. His name is Mike Spiganski. You might know him. He's based out of Georgia. And you can now see a couple of those elements, not all of them. But I give a few notes while we're watching this, and now you can focus on the hook, on the body part, as well as the call to action. This video we're gonna watch completely, just to give you a better idea. Sorry, do you have questions before?
Yeah, before you start.
Yes.
No thumbnail, so we see a part of the video to start with.
So the videos that we usually see running, they don't have a thumbnail. They are so-called in-stream ads. So this means whenever you watch another video, they will come up at the beginning. It's another format. to have videos as a thumbnail. So right at the beginning, he is really speaking out to the target audience.
If you make less than $60,000 per year, then listen up. You are likely ignoring the skill you already have that could instantly make you an additional $5,000 per month from your home without needing any extra skills or experience to be your own boss. Not too long ago, I was in debt, living paycheck to paycheck. If you make less than $60,000.
Sorry, I wanted to pause it because I wanted to say something. Here he's adding in his own founder story, basically, where he is in depth. Right after the hook, you saw the hook, how he's talking to the target audience, and now he's talking a little bit about his own status, and then he adds in credentials.
Without needing any extra skills or experience to be your own boss. Not too long ago, I was in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and I just felt like I could never get my head above water, and I was disappointing so many people in my life, and most importantly, myself. I had tried building every single side hustle out there, and nothing was working for me. Honestly, guys,
pain points.
Rocket science. Most side hustles take 2 years of getting off the ground before you even make any profit. And a lot of times they require a $40,000 investment just to get your foot in the door. It almost seemed like every single path was impossibly hard to get started. And that was until I discovered this new weird type of freelance writing that has allowed me to make a 6-figure income every single year without having to learn a new skill. But hey, there's just one catch here. This ad's only 30 seconds long, and there's no way I could possibly teach everything I've learned over the past decade of doing this in such a short period of time. So if you click this ad, it'll take you to a free training that shows you everything you need to know for the step-by-step process to start making a 6-figure income with freelance writing. Now look, you might be thinking, I haven't written anything since high school or college. Don't worry, I was a C- English student, and now I'm able to travel around the world and earn a 6-figure salary while I'm doing it. The reason the system works so well is because A, not that many people know about it, and B, we're taking advantage of a problem with supply and demand. Tens of thousands of people are getting laid off every single week, and big companies still need articles, reports, memos, and guides written for them. I'll show you how to get an unfair advantage over everyone else, and all you gotta do is click this ad. I'm not exaggerating when just taking a few minutes to watch a hyper quick training can net you an additional 5 to 6 figures a year. But hey, they say the dream only works if you do. If you wanna earn a higher income, now is the time for action. Just click this ad, watch the free training that has already catapulted hundreds of people to success.
Here's the countdown timer at the end.
And this is not against the TOS to run this kind of ads.
Say it again.
Like this sounds like very much against the TOS of Facebook ads, for example, to run this kind of ads.
Right.
So you have no problem running this on YouTube.
No, that's fine. But
you make money online, so it's like if you run a video like this on Facebook, you'll be likely to get done quite quickly.
Yeah.
And he didn't disqualify anyone, right? Other than people who earn more than 16.
No. He's looking for idiots. Like you've got to very low IQ to be able to click on it. So if you got a higher IQ, you're not.
The higher IQ, I guess, is the moment he shows all the money flowing through the screen. That's sort of with a higher
If you're
IQ.
failure, you're disqualified.
That's quite funny, but the thing is, I show you, it's actually working. This is really insane, but so I don't know how to get it back. But it was profitable. This ad, there are a few variations. So usually you want to start out with a few variations of this ad, testing different hooks, maybe testing different CTAs or call to actions at the end. But here are just a few metric on this specific performance. So the lead might seem to be very high, as well as all CPA. However, it resulted in a 452% ROAS, and it was profitable for them after 30 days. They have been putting a lot of effort, though, into their funnel. They have a very, very nicely optimized funnel for that. Mike, he has been running a YouTube channel. He has practiced a skill to talk in front of the camera, which is really important. So a few elements come together. It's like you need to harness certain skill sets in order to make that succeed. And it has quite a few pieces of that. But after 3 months now, they have been hiring the first salespeople. They're getting themselves out from the sales. This is how powerful it can be. And yeah, I hope that was somewhat interesting to you guys. Yes, sure.
So after 3 months, how long have you been doing it now? The reason I'm asking is I'm wondering what the offer fatigue as far as ad fatigue is on YouTube. Like on Facebook, I know creators have to change like all the time. I'm wondering
Yeah,
once you find
that's a good question. On Facebook, the ad fatigue is indeed much higher. I think you need to test constantly every week and whatnot. On YouTube, you have also a symptom called ad fatigue, but it's much slower. So right now, we have been running it for 3 months. Our ad specialists are keeping an eye on it. They have no signs that the ad fatigue is kicking in. You will see it when the cost is rising and whatnot. But that's being said, yeah, on average, I would say somewhere around the 3 months line that you can run ads. But as you can see, the production is also not super fancy. It depends on your budget, but and your style. But you can relatively get easily more assets and inventory back.
It seems to me about $20 a lead, and what's his price point that is profitable with that?
4K. His standard offer is 4K. Yeah, maybe in the back, Omar.
What was the ad spend? For instance, on month 3, how much money you spend on those ads?
I think we have been spending, at that time, it was only 10K, and now scaling it up.
I heard some comments about people saying it was a very simplistic message, but there's a trade-off between simplicity and being able to understand, I think. And it's important to be simple. How simple does that have to be?
In terms of the script or in terms of the production? I'm not sure if I 100% fully understand the question. You mean?
Well, it was very simple because he's directing you to the call to action of the training.
Yeah.
That's what the real need is.
Yes.
So how simple do you want to make that message initially when you do that?
How the call to action specifically?
How simple should the YouTube ad be?
Depends on your audience.
Yeah, it's.
I think he's asking to say the word. I'm trying to be very like fancy and have an amazing message or a very clear message.
Is that right?
I don't have a universal answer for this, to be honest. So usually in our process, we have a dedicated script writer that is doing the research based on the research on the industry, on the brand, on the competitor space. Like what I mentioned before with Vittel, you can look at the competitors and kind of see what's out there. So you have like a little bit of a validation and you can build off from that. And that's usually where you have your guiding point on the simplicity, on your messaging in general. But it's also good to keep in mind an experimental mindset to keep on testing things. You could test, for example, simple versus a more comprehensive message. Please?
What was the name of the tool you just said?
Vittel? You mean for competitor research?
Yes.
Let me just. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I have an account. Yeah, Vittel. Viddtao. And you can basically just look for video ads and whatnot. There's other great tools, but yeah, Vittel is a good recommendation. They have good resources too. Please.
What's the funnel like? Like, what are the steps until the sell?
That's also great. Funnel, what I have been seeing is working really well, is to have this video ad going to an opt-in page, and then where you offer a free training, like a VSL for around 15 to 20 minutes, the standard funnel. And then they have, because they have a higher ticket product, so they have a phone call funnel, what I mentioned. So that works. That's one of the first things I would test. Itamar?
Question, I wondered, I don't know if you have this data, but do you know what the difference is with conversion rates when people come from an email list versus from something that's on YouTube, or what have you seen with that? Like how different is, like, yes, they get a call, but the conversion rates, what's the difference there? Why do you need on that?
You mean from the leads that initially also get in, from the opt-ins?
Leads and like the whole process.
Mm-hmm. I don't have the exact data breakdown, but we are in constant communication just to make sure to improve that lead quality for the email list too. I cannot really tell you that, but I can tell you one thing, what they have implemented. They have a concierge or a call setter. Whenever someone is opting in, they're asking for 3 things: the name, the email address, and the phone number. And they have some VA in the Philippines that is calling every lead which is coming in before even looking the VSL. And that helps them to convert much more into sales calls. So that's I can say for sure. Yes?
Can you talk about the script, the sales script?
the VA uses?
I'm not in this process. I'm not in the sales script process involved. So
Another question.
yeah.
Have you tested opt-in to VSL versus opt-in to live webinar?
A live webinar?
Yeah.
No, we have not. We have not been using a live webinar. But what we did use is a recorded webinar that you can play, because I think the timing matters as well. Like if you can just offer the webinar right away. So that might be also a good split test to use in your funnel, to have a VSL, which I would define somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes, and then a webinar, which is usually maybe an hour run of time, but no experience in running it to a live webinar, to be honest.
Did you try running an ad directly to an offer with the product?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can work in e-commerce with a lower ticket item, but I have also been seeing it not really converting that well. It really kind of depends on the offer, to be honest. Yeah.
I have a similar funnel that's profitable with Facebook ads.
Right.
Do you have any experience to what would need to be adapted to launch the same thing on YouTube? Like, does the funnel have to be specific to YouTube? Is there anything to watch out for? And the ads, the ones that work on Meta, but what about YouTube?
The funnel is usually similar or almost the same. And the good thing is, if you're already running paid ads on Facebook, you can you have already data on what is really resonating well on Facebook, on that platform. You can learn you can take those insights and adopt it for your YouTube video. Even if you have a lot of assets already recorded, you need to, they're using different formats. So there needs to be an editing process, or ideally you can record them newly, or you can take some of those assets and put them into the right format. And then I think that's the easiest way, because you already have inventory. So you can just easily give it a shot and test it quickly. It's coming back down to the testing mindset and trying to do it fast. Please?
Can we talk about targeting, like how you set your targeting?
Sure. Any specific question?
Well, it's like, do you use the traffic on analytics and target people? Do you how do you pick interests? How do you start campaigns?
So there's three main buckets that I see in targeting. The first one is remarketing with Google Ads, and maybe one thing I forgot to mention about why running YouTube ads. YouTube ads is in this whole Google ecosystem, right? So they're getting the data from Google Analytics. You can link up your YouTube channel and connect it to Google Ads, and they have quite a lot of data. So remarketing, when you have audiences, it's always it's the warmest traffic. The second thing, what works second best in our experience, is using custom intent audiences. This is basically where you build out little clusters of keywords, maybe 5 to 15 keywords in one cluster. And those keywords are representing people who are searching on Google search, not on YouTube. That used to be in the past. They canceled it, they killed it. They killed this targeting. Sorry?
It's search retargeting. If someone has Google this, then it's your ad.
Right, yeah. And that's the second one. The third one is topics, affinity. They have like suggested audiences from YouTube, but I would call them rather window shopper, because they're very cold. So it's like you want to prioritize them last, if that makes sense. So those three targeting options. Maybe one thing to test out quickly on YouTube, technical stuff, is like what we found works best is you keep a tactic of 1-1-1. One campaign, one targeting option, and one video ad. In that way, you make sure that when you test out things, that there is no false allocation and distribution of the ad spend. If you have a campaign and you add in several ads, then Google Ads the platform itself, they will always prefer one ad over the other, but then they will distribute the ad spend also differently, and you don't make sure you don't test statistically significant enough in order to get a result. Cool. Over there?
What's like the minimum spend to start seeing whether you get results or not with any particular offer?
That also depends on the account, on the offer. In this particular example, I think we saw sales fortunately coming right away. Yeah, in the first week. And it wasn't even spent 4 or 5K. That's being said, we set the expectations usually to wait 3 months to make sure, because it also depends on how mature your funnel is. If you already have a good track record with your funnel, if not, you probably need much more data, more time, more tweaks, more optimization that goes into. So there's a few variables that play a role. But for then
you have a more mature funnel that it's more likely to get sales sooner as soon as you start sending.
Absolutely, yeah, that's the good part. Yeah.
Are there considerations for an older demographic, just in terms of, I don't know, ad fatigue happening faster, or less like older people, I don't know, watching YouTube one after the other? I know my mom definitely does that.
I personally have not made this experience. I cannot speak with confidence about and give you a confident answer. I don't know. Yeah, but what comes up in my mind is like that you have the option. Google Ads has the data on the demographics. You can actually select age groups as well as income groups, income levels. That's being said, even if you select those options sometimes, that doesn't mean it's like 100% safe, because there's also a lot of unknowns, and sometimes the cookies get blocked. So the data is not 100%, but you have options to kind of give it a shot and to target accordingly. Over there.
Yeah, building on what you said with retargeting, what we found works really well is if we have a guest blog or someone on our page asking if we can also put a YouTube up, because otherwise you can't track and retarget that. But if you put a YouTube video on someone else's page, you then are accessing their data for them. So I found that's really good.
Cool.
Is that just if they watch the video, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can actually, when you link your own YouTube channel, let's say you have a massive YouTube channel, you can link it to Google Ads, and then you can remarket subscribers, video viewers from specific videos. You have a lot of remarketing options in that way too. Yes.
How does the campaign structure work? Do you use like performance max and have all your retargeting in one thing, or do you like do different campaigns?
For video targeting, we don't use PMax so much. It's more like manual campaigns, so we have more control about it.
And do you use the enlarging target audience option?
The what one?
In Google Ads, in most types of campaigns, you can tick a box that says like, "Oh, don't necessarily follow the targeting options, but like let the platform find more people."
Yeah, only if there's indications that it can make a benefit. Yeah, we usually try to get less automation from Google first, so we have a little bit more of the control at the beginning. And then options will be always tested as an optimization process, but later on down the road. So we have the basics to start at the bottom of the funnel.
We found that for keyword-based targeting, that in some cases the ads just take off and they get loads of impressions, as we would expect for a keyword of that volume. And in some cases, it's a high volume keyword and there's just no impressions, nothing's kicking off.